right, we will be doing our color wheel with our oil pastels, which you got in your supply packet. And I'm going to kind of introduce you to how to use these oil pastels properly and correctly. You're going to need your color wheel, your pastels, piece of paper towel. I'll show you why. And let's just take a look at these first. They look like what? They look like crayons, right? But just to get it out of your head right away, please do not treat these like crayons. This is a way better art material than crayons. Crayons are waxy and hard, and they're not really made for blending. They're just made for quickly coloring things in. And oil pastels, on the other hand, if you take a look at this nice picture, you can see that this is made out of oil pastels, and you can actually turn just a piece of paper basically into really beautiful, like painting. It looks like an oil painting. So it's a really great material to work with. Now, it's also very messy material to work with. It's also very fun, too. What we want to do, we want to try and keep the paper wrapping on this as much as we can. When it kind of wears down, you could peel a little bit back as you go, but try to keep the paper wrapping. Try not to please don't take all the paper off like this one here. I've had students do this in the past. It's not very nice. And if you play around with this, you'll feel already how much creamier it is than a hard waxy crayon. And if you play around with it, you'll notice that it smudges, and that's like, oh, cool, it smudges, yay. But it gets your fingers really messy, and actually, we have a lot of dirt on our hands, and so we actually need to make a no smudge rule. Please do not get in there with your fingers. I can show you how to blend these together and stuff to make really cool effects, but we don't want to use our fingers too much. That's actually a misconception in the whole oil pastel world. People think that you should be smudging it with your fingers. So don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Here we go. So let's go ahead and start out our color wheel. Now we've got some easy spots to do, so we can go ahead and just fill in red. Go ahead and use this as an opportunity to get some control. We can fill in yellow. And now we're going to show you something that you need to learn about. So see how my oil pastel looks kind of dirty? That's going to happen a lot. So that's why we keep that paper towel around to clean it off. That way we don't have random alien colors coming through when we just want one little color. Okay. Again, notice how creamy it is as you use it. Okay, I have some blue. My blue is also dirty. Just clean it off just like that. Okay. And fill that in. Okay, and then we have some other colors that we can fill in, like the orange. We already made orange for ourselves. You have an orange. It's very nice. It's very handy. You have the green already, so I can fill that in. All right, and I'll stop right there. Now, let's get into these other colors, okay? So we don't have a violet one. We'll have to make violet ourselves, and that's fine. I want to start teaching you how to mix colors with your oil pastels. And the rule is to work dark to light. So you want to start with the darker color first and the lighter color second, and I'll show you why. If I wanted to make yellow-orange, and I'm like, cool, to make yellow-orange, I have to mix yellow and orange. So I start with some yellow, okay, and then I go in with some orange. The orange totally blocks out the yellow, okay. We want to work from darker to lighter, and we want to work softly and subtly. So instead of putting down yellow first, I put down a little bit of orange first, lightly, as you see, and then the yellow can come in and actually come on top and actually blend with the yellow right on the paper. And it's really cool because it's actually like mixing paint right on your own piece of paper. So I'll go and do that again, okay? So you can see. So for yellow-orange, I start with a darker color first between yellow and orange. Put a little bit of the orange down, and then go ahead and go over it with the yellow. And it blends right on the paper. Because it has oil in it, it's able to blend. Let's try this again. We're going to do yellow-green, okay? And I know you're probably like, oh, but I have yellow-green right there ready to go. I know, but let's just do this just to practice. Okay, so start with the darker color first, a little bit of green. And then the lighter color is yellow, and we can go on top of that. You can go in circles too, mix it around. Start getting used to how much pressure you put onto the paper. For red-orange, okay, what's darker between